Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Hello, it's your girl, Fly Girl Nina, and welcome back to Fly Girl Bartending. Baby, it is cold outside, but guess what? Today I'm sharing with you guys 3 Boozy Hot Cocoa Bomb recipes that will keep you warm all winter long. Not only are these recipes really great to sip on while you watch a cute Christmas movie, but they also make really great stocking stuffers for your loved ones as well. But anyway, let's stop talking and let's start drinking. So good. Okay, first things first, we gotta make the chocolate shells. Using a scale, measure out 8 ounces of chocolate candy melts into a bowl. Then pop it in the microwave for about 2 minutes. Give it a stir to make sure it's all melted. And then we're going to paint the chocolate into these silicone disc molds. Now, this would be a lot easier if you had like a food grade brush for painting the chocolate, but I'm just using a tiny spatula because that's what I had. And this is what it looks like. Now we're going to pop it in the fridge or freezer for 5 to 15 minutes, but pretty much just until the chocolate has solidified. And now we're going to add a second layer of the candy melts and really focusing on the edges and filling in any spots that need to be filled in. And then we're going to pop it back in the fridge to harden. Okay, now moving on to the ganache. This is what's going to be on the inside of the Boozy Hot Chocolate Bombs, and it's also where the liquor is going to be added into later. You're going to need 8 ounces of a chocolate bar and chop it up as finely as you can. Also, I want to say real quick, if you can't tell, I'm not a baker. I'm just a bartender, and this knife is super dull, so if you're gonna do this, it would be much easier to use with a sharp knife. After you're done chopping it up, pour the chocolate into a bowl and add 6 ounces of hot, heavy whipping cream. And because I use 100% cacao, I'm adding a half cup of sugar because otherwise the chocolate is gonna taste really bitter. Stir the mixture up. If you need to zap it in the microwave to melt the chocolate more, that's totally fine. And this is how mine ended up looking. Yours might look a little different, okay? Probably a little bit better, honestly. Okay, now since I'm making 3 different flavors of bombs, I'm basically just dividing the ganache into 3 so I can mix the flavors separately, but obviously if you just want to make one flavor, then skip this step. Alrighty, now is my favorite part. We're gonna add in some booze. And we're going to start with the Mocha recipe. The Mocha only has 2 ingredients, which is going to be coffee liqueur and brandy or cognac. And I'm measuring in a ½ ounce for each of them. So it's going to be equal parts and it's going to be a total of 1 ounce of liquor. Again, I want to reiterate, if you're just making one flavor of the bombs, you're probably going to have to adjust the measurement quantities of the booze. But anyway, next we're going to make a banana split. For this one, we're using a 1/4 ounce of banana liqueur, a 1/4 ounce of amaretto, and a ½ ounce of dark rum. And for the third recipe, this is going to be our spicy citrus. For the spice element, we're going to add a good pinch of cayenne powder, and then we're going to add a 1/4 ounce of Grand Marnier, or you can use any orange liqueur. And lastly, we're going to add 3/4 of an ounce of reposado tequila. Yay! Okay, so now it's time to assemble the bombs, baby. Since I'm not a professional baker and don't have piping supplies, I'm going to be using Ziploc baggies to pipe the ganache into the chocolate shells. Now we're going to bring back out our hardened chocolate shells, and when you pipe in the ganache, I would suggest melting the edges of the shells before adding the ganache because it will make it a lot easier to connect the shell halves together afterwards. I did not do that, and let's just say my bombs could have looked a bit more aesthetically pleasing. But anyway, use some scissors to cut off a small piece of the corner out of the ganache bags and pipe it in. Then, if you want, you can also add some mini marshmallows to give it a little pizzazz. Okay, so this is the part where I show you how to melt the edges. Basically, using a hot plate, gently press the shells just long enough to melt the edges. Depending on how hot your plate is, the chocolate will melt quickly, so be focused when doing this step. But anyway, after that, put the chocolate shell halves together, and because the edges should still be a little melty, use your finger and rub around the bomb to flatten any chocolate that's sticking out. Okay, so these are what the bombs are looking like, and now is another fun part. We're going to decorate them. Heck yeah! The first technique I'm going to do is add edible glitter. First by brushing some alcohol on the chocolate because the glitter needs something to stick to. And then using another brush dipped in edible glitter, I'm going to use my finger and just tap on the brush so the glitter gently falls on top. So pretty simple and really cute. Okay, next we're bringing the candy melts out again. And you can also use different colored candy melts too if you want, but pretty much I'm just using the same technique with the Ziploc bag to create little chocolate designs on top of the bombs. Just be sure to cut a tiny hole in the bag if you want a little bit more control over your designs. And I did end up having some ganache left over, so I don't have an exact amount of how many bombs this recipe makes, but honestly, as long as you have enough candy melts, you could probably keep making them. And just like that, our Boozy Hot Cocoa Bombs are completed and they look gorgeous. If you plan on doing this yourself, give yourself some time because there is a bit of a learning curve to it, but it was a lot of fun to make, honestly. Alright, my fly people, we have made it to the end of today's video. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm so excited to try out these Boozy Hot Cocoa Bombs. So let's get it going. Into our ho 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 mug, we're gonna put the tequila Boozy Hot Cocoa Bomb. Inside of the middle mug, we're gonna be putting the banana split hot cocoa bomb. And into the red mug, we're gonna be putting the Mocha hot cocoa bomb. And the final step is to pour some hot milk into each mug, which will then activate the hot cocoa bombs. I think it's time to unravel the row because we are now ready to try out these hot chocolates. And we're gonna start off with our mocha. Cheers! Okay, real chocolate makes a hell of a difference versus like the packaged like hot cocoa mixes. Because this is good. You do taste a little bit of the coffee. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, that's enough of this one. I have to set it to the side, otherwise I'm just gonna down it all. Let's move on to our banana split. Cheers. Okay, comparing the two, the chocolate seems way more deep and rich. Also because the coffee liqueur I use is a lot more like that bitter coffee taste rather than it being like sweet coffee. So I think it honestly just deepened the chocolateness of the hot chocolate. This one I feel like is more comparable to like the packaged like hot cocoa, meaning that the chocolate isn't as like robust in flavor as the mocha one. But again, I think it's just because the coffee liqueur just really emphasized that chocolate flavor. But this one, you definitely taste the banana in there, and it's such a nice mix with the chocolate. Yeah, this one you just taste banana chocolate, but it's so delicious. Yeah, that's good. They're both super good. Let's go ahead and try our third one, which is the tequila hot chocolate. Okay, honestly, I probably put too much milk in there, also because this is such a big, a big mug. That I think all the milk kind of drowns out the flavors a bit too much. Like for the first two, the milk amount was like perfect. You don't really taste like the orange or the tequila Okay, actually, for all three of them, I would definitely say I taste more of like the liqueurs versus the liquor itself. I taste the coffee chocolate, I taste the banana chocolate, but I feel like I kind of taste the cayenne in there a little bit. I feel like it gives it like a different quality. I can like slightly tell that there is a spice element to it, but it's like not, it doesn't taste spicy like that. I mean, it's still a really good hot chocolate though. I don't know, it's still good. It's still good hot chocolate. Can't complain too much. Dang, these are all so good though. I will say honestly though, out of the three, I feel like my top favorite is the Mocha. This one is super good, super delicious. But I feel like if you want like that classic like hot chocolate, like Christmas time hot chocolate, I feel like the Mocha is kind of your best bet. And it's interesting because it doesn't like taste like coffee, but again, like the coffee just kind of reinforces the chocolate flavor. But honestly, they're all super good, and I will drink all of these after filming this video. But yeah, they're so good. I love hot chocolate. So good. Alright you guys, we've made it to the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipes I shared with you today, and I hope you try them out. If you do try them out, please write in the comments down below how they turned out for you. Also, if you guys have any other cool Boozy Hot Cocoa recipes that you want to leave in the comments down below, I would love to read them and try them out myself. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful and merry holiday season, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay fly!